So, you're looking for a dog trainer here in Patchogue. Well, you know the goal isn't just about teaching sit and stay. It's really about building a better life with your dog in our very unique village. Let's walk through how to find the right professional to help you do just that.
I mean, let's be honest. Having a well-trained dog just makes life so much easier. It means you can have a relaxing walk instead of a stressful one. It means you can actually enjoy everything our village has to offer, from the waterfront to our busy downtown, without constantly worrying about how your dog is going to react.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, what success actually looks like in town. Then, we'll go over your training options, break down how to properly vet a professional, and we'll finish up with a local toolkit of costs, rules, and some great local resources.
Okay, first things first, let's define what we're even aiming for. What skills does a dog really need to thrive right here in Patchogue? Because let's face it, it's a little different than living out in a more rural area. This right here is the heart of it. A good neighbor dog is one that can handle the specific energy of our village. That means being able to walk politely past all the outdoor dining on Main Street, staying calm with the noise and traffic from the Fire Island Ferry, and just generally being comfortable and well-mannered in our beautiful parks.
So now that we have our goal, a calm, good neighbor dog, how do we get there? Let's take a look at the main training options you're likely to come across. One of the first things you'll see is that most modern, effective trainers are all about positive reinforcement. And this isn't just some feel-good trend, it's an approach that's actually backed by science. It's all about teaching your dog what you want them to do by rewarding them, which helps build trust and makes them want to be part of the training. Now, for the format, you're usually looking at two main choices. Group classes are awesome for socialization and for practicing commands around other dogs and people. On the other hand, private one-on-one sessions are perfect for zeroing in on really specific behaviors that happen at home, like barking at the doorbell or jumping on guests.
There is a more intensive option out there called board and train, where your dog actually lives with the trainer for a little while. Yeah, I can get quick results, but it's so important that you do your homework on the facility, their methods, and how they care for the dogs in their charge.
Okay, so you know the options. Now we get to the most important part. How do you actually pick the right person? Let's talk about what it means to properly vet a trainer. You might see a bunch of letters after a trainer's name, and it can be kind of confusing. Just think of them as a benchmark for their knowledge. For general manners and obedience, seeing CPDTK is a really great standard to look for. These other certifications you see here mean they have more advanced, specialized knowledge for more complex behavior issues. Here's your checklist for that initial phone call or consultation. You should absolutely ask every one of these questions. Pay really close attention to their answer on philosophy. You want to hear them talking about positive reinforcement. And definitely ask about homework, because your involvement between sessions is what makes all of this training stick in the long run. All right, let's wrap this up with the practical, on-the-ground info you're going to need as a dog owner right here in our community. You know, being a great dog owner in the village also means knowing the local rules. The big one to remember is the Suffolk County Leash Law. Your dog must be on a non-retractable leash that's no longer than 6 feet in any public space. You'll also need to get them licensed, and it's always a good idea to be mindful of nuisance barking laws, especially if you live in an apartment or a tightly packed neighborhood. So you can get an idea of what to budget, here's a realistic starting point. This is the typical range you can expect to pay for a single 1-hour private training lesson here in the Patchogue and Greater Suffolk County area. And to give you a wider view, this table breaks down the average local costs for different kinds of training. Everything from a 6-week puppy class all the way up to those intensive 2-week board and train programs we talked about earlier. This should give you a much clearer picture of what your investment might look like. Of course, once you start training, practice is everything. And lucky for us, we have some fantastic local spots to do it. The Village Dog Park is great for safe, off-leash work, while Shorefront Park is perfect for practicing that loose-leash walking with all sorts of real-world distractions like boats, seagulls, and people. So just take a second and think about it. What could that better partnership with your dog really look like? Finding the right professional is that first big step to making it happen. Hopefully, this gives you the confidence you need to get started, so you can build a truly wonderful life with your dog, at home, with your neighbors, and all around our beautiful village.